UK Christian pastor arrested for saying marriage, check this, marriage is between a man and a woman. Controversial, I know, but it's basically the truth. Marriage has been, always will be, even presently is, always between a man and a woman. One man, one woman of adult age for you Muslims. But nevertheless, a Christian pastor in the UK was arrested by police. Well, who else is going to arrest him? After a member of the public reported him for homophobic commentary in saying that marriage is between one man and one woman. That's where it's come to, guys. The West has fallen this far. Something as logical and beneficial to society has been fact for eons. It's even the same between animals, birds. They stay together for life, male, female. I'm probably going to have to put this video somewhere else other than YouTube. So check out BitChute, check out Odyssey. But we'll carry on. Let's get on to this. The incident occurred outside Uxbridge Station, a place I know quite well, in West London. A video clip shows the elderly pastor being confronted by police and forcefully handcuffed before being led away. I've seen this happen before. There was a black preacher that was arrested as well. I think it was in North London. But I'll show you the clip. It's a minute long. I'll show you on my phone. Sorry guys, I'm not very techie here. But here you go. Christian country. The cop can barely speak English.
They're arresting the dear man. They're arresting him.
It gets quite rough. It's an old guy. Who would have thought?
You're on camera.
Police are getting rough with this guy. All he needed to do was shout Black Lives Matter and they would have taken a knee for him.
For a man preaching about Christianity, look how he's ripping it.
It's in the Bible. Man and a woman. Who would have thought? Let's carry on. I wasn't making, this is a quote from the gentleman himself. I wasn't making any homophobic comments. I was just defining marriage as a relationship between a man and a woman. I was only saying what the Bible says. I wasn't wanting to hurt anyone or cause offense. Yeah, but these people, they get offended all by themselves. You don't really need to do much for them to be offended. Said John Sherwood. Nice name, like Sherwood Forest. Who has been a pastor for 35 years. Check that. I know these people, they've been preaching in the streets, they've been heckled by atheists, militant atheists who have taken on a religion of their own. He carries on to quote, he's quoted more here. I was doing what my job description says, which is to preach the gospel in open air as well as in a church building. Sherwood was arrested under the Public Order Act for using abusive or insulting words that cause harm to another person. The Bible is now causing harm to these atheists and homosexuals. Another person causing harm to another person after a member of the public flagged down the officers, snitched on him. Basically, they were probably gathered around, heckling him, trying to interject. And then, you know what? These authoritarians, they saw a copper, called him over, started playing up, saying they're offended, this and that, calling him a homophobe and hate crime and all this and that, and the cops got scared. They didn't know whether to take the knee or arrest him, but then they saw he's a Christian preacher, so yep, the cops probably had atheist, authoritarian leanings in their mind, and they just abused their power and arrested the old guy. Although the pastor was released without charge after spending a night in jail, he lost his freedom for a night, an old guy, just for preaching the gospel that, you know, the head of our state, the Queen, is a defender of. Jail. He is still under investigation by the Crown Prosecution Service and could be charged at a later date. It's looking real bad for the UK. And the Crown Prosecution Service, we know that they are vehement in their prosecution. They took Count Dacula for his Nazi pug joke. They took him through the courts with just a hunch that he's a hate criminal. When the police approached me, I explained that I was exercising my religious liberty and my conscience. Think of those radical Muslims outside that school in Yorkshire where the teacher dared to teach a class on blasphemy. My conscience. He added, I was forcibly pulled down from the steps, here's a little step ladder for you lot listening on the podcast, and suffered some injury to my wrist and my elbow as they tried to arrest him forcefully. I do believe I was treated shamefully. Yeah, we think so as well, Mr. Sherwood. It should never have happened, he's quoted as saying. And basically, yeah, the UK is notorious for this kind of nonsense. In 2019, UK police investigated the potential hate crime of a transgender woman being turned down for a porn role because she still had a dick. And we had a video published by the UK government Home Office last year, also suggested that insulting someone's appearance now constitutes a hate crime, despite this not being the law. There's been many cases. Earlier this year, we highlighted how officers in Merseyside took part in an electronic ad campaign outside a supermarket which claimed being offensive is an offence. That's the heads up. I feel sorry for this guy. There was a preacher. In my own case, I'm a Christian myself, but I lost my way in my younger years. But you know what brought me around? It was a street preacher. I think I've done another video about this before, but he used to be on Oxford Street for you lot in London, and his famous chant was, "Don't be a sinner, be a winner." It's like he's from the north of England or something like that. He's a top guy. And he was harassed out of street preaching. I've seen subsequent street preachers being assaulted on Oxford Street. And they're just peaceful, passive guys, really. They're just Christian preachers. They're lovable people. And they get a lot of abuse. They really see the demonic side of society in front of them as they try and preach the gospel. Whether you're a religious person or not, if you hold faith or not, or you're spiritual, I don't know. But I think we do need to rally around this guy and acknowledge that this is unacceptable. And we need to make a case for free speech. Also, if this would have been a Muslim preacher, they have tables out with radical literature, jihadist literature, and you do not dare see a policeman arresting them like they arrested this Sherwood in Uxbridge and denied him his liberty for a whole night. He had to sleep on some plastic foam mattress on some brick bench, concrete bench inside a nasty police station cell. That's all I've got to say. One thing I'm noticing about my channel is that I do tend to highlight the topics that the bigger YouTubers tend to cover later on. So I'll leave it at that. hopefully I'll try and put this video up on YouTube and it will get mirrored over to BitChute and Odyssey. If not, make sure you subscribe at least to the free tier on my Subscribe Star page, because I always post a little update where you can find the daily videos. If anything's wrong, you can check out the audio podcast below. I had a little issue on there. Wasn't updating the feed, wasn't updating, but I've sorted that out now. And you can listen on any platform, or you just get the RSS feed and put it into your favorite podcast app. Much love. Until the next video, stay strong.